and I think you've noticed it on the message board and on Twitter as well. I don't think a lot of Notre Dame fans appreciate how good this BYU football team is, especially people who only watched them last week against Utah State. Number one, they did not play well against Utah State. Notre Dame lost to Marshall, and two of their best players didn't play in that game, Puka Nacua and Tyler Batty. So we'll get into a lot of that. But this is a good football team. Should Notre Dame beat them? Yes. The reason it's important for people to understand how good this football team is at BYU and the fact that they're 8-2 against Power 5 teams the last 2 years is because if you don't appreciate how good they are, then if Notre Dame wins, then you don't appreciate how good of a win that would be and how important of a win that would be. And that's the reason that we're trying to get people to understand that this is a quality football team. It's not Ohio State. It's not Clemson or Georgia. We're not saying that. This is a legitimate top 25 football team. And I think a team that Notre Dame is going to have to bring their A game to beat them convincingly, and at least bring their BB plus game if they're going to win. This is going to be a good matchup for Notre Dame, and a matchup, as we discussed yesterday, Ryan, that's going to tell us a lot about this Notre Dame football team. And we'll see a little bit more of that as we dive into the stats to kind of show people where BYU is dangerous, where Notre Dame can take advantage. But people need to appreciate that this is a good football team that Notre Dame is going to be playing on Saturday.
I mean, you just said the record against Power 5 teams, right? Like it's not like just a smoke and mirror show, right? With BYU, like this is a quality football team. I agree completely, Brian. And it's something where, I mean, on paper, and that's why I'm happy that we're doing the show today. On paper, I think that the stats kind of back up what I saw in film with this BYU team. It's a different football team than I thought I was getting. And I think there are some preconceived notions from people about what BYU football is and what they're going to be good at and what their strengths are going to be. And I think that when you see the numbers kind of match what I saw in film personally, it tells me that this team is not going to be an easy out. And I think that you saw Vegas put the line out. I think it was started at 2.5, and now it's up to 3 or something like that. So even Vegas thinks this is going to be a close, highly contested football game. And it's a big game for both teams, obviously with the Shamrock Series, but also BYU is continuing to prove that they belong on this national stage and that they are that top 25 caliber football team year in and year out. So I think it's a massive opportunity for Notre Dame to really – because last week or 2 weeks ago now against North Carolina, you're like, okay, step in the right direction. Not a great North Carolina team, though, at least not on the defensive side of the football. So you're like, is that a hollow? I don't want to call it a hollow victory because no victory is hollow.
Yeah, it's not hollow at all, but it can be misleading, at least on one side of the ball for Notre Dame.
100%. Yeah. So is your offense really taking that step forward, or is it just the other, the lesser of two evils that like, hey, the defense that you're playing wasn't great, so it's like meeting in the middle somewhere? We will have a big determination of just how much improved this Notre Dame team is this week because they are playing against a quality football team, on a neutral site and a team that wants to beat you, like they want to beat Notre Dame,
and need to beat you.
Yep.